Hello and welcome to the fourth video in a series of game development tutorials on how to make your own visual novel style game in Unity. In this tutorial, we'll cover importing our next character and we'll also create a fade screen using simple animation. Remember to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay up to date with every tutorial I upload to this series. Feel free to leave a comment or drop a like. I also have a Patreon page where you can help be a part of this channel. And you'll also find all the scripts and assets there to this series too, along with plenty of other things. You can also now join as a free member. Now, on with the tutorial. So, firstly, what I want to do is I want to get our next character in place because I want a conversation to start occurring between two characters in this room. And I want this to be the starting scene of it all. So, I'm going to go to my characters folder and I'm going to drag and drop the next character, which is going to be called Haruka. Drag and drop into Unity, give it a second to import. And I will leave a link in the pinned comment and in the description for you to go and download this for free. So once it's imported, we can do something kind of cool. So we did it a couple of tutorials ago where we duplicated our character right here. And we're going to do the exact same. So I'm going to take Kasumi Confused, hold Control, press D to duplicate, and obviously there is two of her now. I'm going to call this, just for now, Haruka. And obviously, you can call your characters whatever you want. You don't have to have it the same as me. So let's go into Haruka. Let's have eyes open, and let's just select this one right here. Drag and drop onto Haruka. It would help if I actually had it selected, wouldn't I? So we can drag and drop on the texture. So let's drag and drop on the texture over there. And let's move Haruka over here. So now on the game view, we can see we do indeed have two characters. But do you remember what I said about bitmaps? It's always good to have it. So let's make sure we have the right texture set. And let's go on to generate bitmap and apply. And that will give our asset a smoother look. And that looks about normal. So the idea what's going to happen here is we'll come up with a scene where one character is there, says, "Where's the other?" And then the other one walks in. So to do that, we need like a fading in screen to kind of fade us into where we're going. So we need a folder to store all of our animations. So in our main assets folder, right click, create, and let's go to folder. And we'll call this animations. So, how do we create it so as our screen fades in? There's actually many ways of doing it, but the simplest, easiest, and most versatile, weirdly, is to put an image on top of it all and then use that image to fade into a screen. So, to do that, we go to Game Object, let's go down to UI, and let's click on Raw Image. And yep, it's just a white dot in the middle of the screen, much in the same way as it was with our characters and our backdrop. Let's name it Fade In. Now what we need to do is change the color tone of it. So we did it with the background, if you remember, we gave it that orange kind of look, but we need to change this one to black. I mean, you could have it as white or any color if you wanted to. It doesn't really matter too much because it's not specifically the color that we'll be changing within this animation. So let's keep that as completely black. Next, what we need to do is we need to set an anchor point for it. So if we go to Kasumi and Haruka, we haven't actually set any anchor points yet. So we will get to their anchor points at the end of this tutorial. But for now, we need to make sure that the anchor point for this one is set as stretch. What is an anchor point? Is, in simple terms, where the object will appear by default. So any relation to its position at this point will always be based on dead center. If we were to have it top left, its position would be in relation to up there. So to give you an idea of what that means, if we were to set the top left as its anchor point, it would appear dead center of the top left position. If we were to have dead center and zero out the position, it would appear dead center. So the object appears at the center of any particular anchor point as long as its position is 0, 0. Like I say, we need this to be stretched because we need to always cover the entire screen. So we need to make sure that the top left is 0 and bottom and right is also 0. So if we go to game view now, it literally just does look black. This is where we need to create that animation now because we need to fade that screen in. How do we do that? Well, there are many different ways that you can do it. I mean, there's animations that you can import, you can do it different ways, but the easiest simple way is to use the animation tab. I think I did go through it in the very first tutorial. So let's just recap. If you don't have it, three dots, add tab, animation. And what we need to do is make sure that we are in our animations folder here. On the animation tab, click on create. And I'm going to call this fade in. And then we need to make sure we click on this little button here. And what that does is start the recording. So what we need to do is set keyframes to make sure that this animation performs correctly. And the first keyframe is going to be its exact position now, which is alpha full 255. So remember on here we have red, green, blue, and alpha. It is just the alpha that we'll be changing because that gives us the opportunity to change how translucent, transparent, and opaque this object is. So if we set 255 here, even if it says 255 already, overtype it to say 255. And you'll notice these two little dots appear just here. That means our keyframe is now set. So we can close that. Now we need to establish just how long we want for this fade screen to go in. Do we want it to go for 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds? I'm going to make it fade into our game over the course of 2 seconds. So I'm going to select 120 right there. What that means is that this has now set itself to the 120th keyframe because we're using 60 frames a second. So that means that if I change the color on the alpha to 0, close that, and then press the record button again to stop. If we press play now, it will fade into our screen, then it will fade into our screen again and again and again. Well, let's just make sure the animation works. So if we press play and go into it, let it compile, we should be able to see a black screen fade into our game. There we go. You can see it do it constantly. Now it's up to you how long you want to do it. But what I'm going to do firstly is on here in our animations folder on fade in, the actual animation and not the controller. It's a little triangle. Untick loop time. And what that will do is it will make sure the animation plays only once. So if we go back to our animations folder now, our animation tab, I should say, we can change just how quickly or how slowly this animation now works. So what we can do is if we press play, just to make sure it does only play once, that is. It should do. There we go. It is now faded into our game. So make sure that we do have fade in selected up here. We can now press the record button once again, and we have the opportunity to move these keyframes. So let's say we wanted it to fade in over 1 second. You can drag and drop this keyframe to 1 second, which is right there. So if we stop the recording now and press play once again, this should fade in twice as quick because it's doing it over the course of 1 second rather than 2 seconds. Much quicker. So now we have a simple fade animation in place. I'm going to set it back to 2 seconds, I think. Should I have it as 2 or should I keep it as 1? I'm not sure. But I'm just going to drag this all the way to 2 seconds. There it is. And press the record button again to save that animation. Perfect. So what I'm going to do now is because it's kind of in the way, there's two things you can do. You can either disable the fade in screen or you can move it around in a hierarchy of the canvas. So if we move it to the top, we're able to see our game again. However, it will mean that the animation, you won't see it. It'll still play, it'll still occur, but because it's now behind everything else, you don't see it. So I mentioned earlier about anchor points for our characters. Let's set the anchor points for these two characters right now. So Kasumi needs to be always anchored bottom right. And Haruka always needs to be anchored bottom left. Because this scene, it's not going to be too long. It's just going to be a case of we'll create a quick little story. They're not going to change places. They're probably going to move around with their animations, but they're not going to move anywhere we can't control. So if we set this now position X to 0, you can see that she does indeed go to 0. Same there. So what we can do is let's move her into whole number position rather than decimal because I want our character to be able to fade and move around the scene. So let's make sure we get that set now. So 400 and 400 puts her off screen. So if the X was negative 400, she'd be completely on screen. And the same applies to Haruka. If we set her position as 400 and 400, she will be on screen at all times. Excellent. So I'm going to put the fade screen below Haruka so the fade screen is on top. And let's just make sure everything still looks good. It should do. Excellent. Okay, so yeah, you can see that this visual novel game is now starting to come together. It does look fairly decent in terms of, well, we've only been doing this for 4 tutorials. So next tutorial, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to animate our characters' movements and how they appear on the screen. So remember to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay up to date with every tutorial still to come in this series. I will see you next time.